everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another episode of Hearthstone. Let me start off by asking you to turn off or ad block, wait, no, don't ad block me. I'm asking you not to ad block me. Turn off or whitelist me in any ad blockers. Last episode we got into a really long closing wrap up there. I'm sorry about that. That was about 5 minutes of me talking. But we also played as the Hunter because these two lined up. We only got one victory, but this episode we're going to do Priest and Warlock. We are not doing arena runs anymore until we can unlock the new Black Rock Mountain let's see, adventure. That's what it is, yeah. So sorry. Still kind of early in the morning. Priest and Warlock is who we're playing, yes. Warlock and Priest. I say, let's keep it. I think I'll win more with the Warlock. So, as I just realized that it was taking me forever last episode to wrap up my video, I started talking about why I'm gonna move Hearthstone into Series 2. Probably this episode will be a few episodes in the Series 2 of what it is. And so I'm gonna change the numbering system a little bit.
Gul'dan versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Your soul shall be
probably
mine.
won't change the numbering system actually. What I'll probably do is keep the episode numbers the same, but I'll say Series 2. Well, then that kind of defeats the whole point, too. If only I did this around the Black Rock Mountain part 2. Let's see. Yeah, I'll start Series 2. No, I gotta keep it all in line. Ooh, it's difficult to make choices. I'm gonna keep the episodes numbers the same, I guess, and then just start Series 2 at a late number. Later.
Why do you go? Job done.
But that doesn't really solve the problem. The argument I hear on the Comic Vine podcast a lot is that episode issue 50 of the comic book might as well be issue 5000. There's no good starting point implied in any of that. And so my thought to moving everything to Series 2 is to have a good starting point. And I guess that's what we'll just say, is we'll say Hearthstone Series 2 will start at episode whatever number. That just gets everything back into a relative time frame, so we're not talking about games that were long since stopped recording. Such. Let's see.
As you command.
That kind of
Job
sucks.
done.
So I think he could hit my guy with taunt. Now.
Magic detected.
Then use a.
Is this really necessary?
at 5, I can either bring out this guy, or I can do this. Or I can do this, which would then do that. Yeah, let's
So
do this.
many possibilities.
Master of magic.
Job's done.
But yeah, I don't see. It would kind of make sense to go Series 2 and start Hearthstone up with another Episode 1 and all of that, but I don't see the point. I kind of see the point, I just don't think
I
want to do that.
am ready.
And then it makes total sense why we're doing the other series as they are, because let's see, deal 5 damage, discard a card, that's fine, now deal 4 damage, and end the turn. The other two series, FTL and Isaac will have been put on the back burner, so kind of far on the back burner at this point. I'm seeing other games to replace the games I'm recording now. That's where we need to go. Just getting the updates on like how many views I get a day is about a day behind, but as of today I got like 20 new views yesterday, and so I certainly remember a time, it was not very long ago, where it took possibly a month to get 20 views. Well, I'm getting it in a day. So now the next step is to keep on growing, and eventually get 20 views in. Oh, I'm not getting it. I've lost, but get 20 views in half a day, that'd be great. So then we double it to 40 views a day, every day, pretty consistently, or at least that much. I don't want to be consistent with 20 views a day, I want it to be growing, but then from 24 hours to 12 hours, then we'll get 12 hours to 20 views in 6 hours, to 20 views in 3 hours, to 20 views in an hour and a half, and so on and so on and so on. A major point in all of that would be if we got 301 views in a day. To me, that is a point, because when you have 301 views on any specific video, that's when YouTube starts to really think of you as the next level. So if we get 301 views over all our videos, that would be a point, and then we'd want to get that to grow to 301 views plus on every video.
The light shall bring victory.
Then after that, my next milestone, as it were, would be 1,000 views on each video. And 1,000 views on each video would be cool. And then the next one would be 2,000, 3,000, and I'd hope it would start skyrocketing to like 5,000, 10,000. If I could get 10,000 views on every single video I released, I should be at that point set for pretty good earnings. Um, Potentially, this starts to make more sense. Potentially, I'm making close to minimum wage, maybe, at that point, instead of what now has been pennies, uh, less than $1 a month type stuff, because it's been 2 months and I've made 81 cents, so. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not uploading at the moment. I don't have any videos running in the background that I know of. That doesn't guarantee that there aren't any. But yeah, if I could get $1 a day, that'd be great. But I really would love to see it skyrocket. I'd like to skip a lot of points here and not go from getting maybe a penny a week to $1 a day. I'd like to go from a penny a week to $10 a day to $100 a day. If I could get $100 a day, I'm set. That's fine. As long as that stays consistent, I can back off on a lot of the donation stuff and all of that. So if the easier solution is just people fan fund me for $10 a day,
Ready for action!
That would be great. It would really solve a lot of problems. 10 people for $10 a day, that's $100 a day, and then I'm fine. As long as it stays consistent. Now, if it skyrockets to $1,000 a day, well, then you're talking a ridiculous. That's probably too much money at that point. But I'll take it. I would certainly start reinvesting all of that money. Get a lawyer on retainer, perhaps build a new computer, maybe have an accountant, but I don't think I really would need one. But just fine. Build a new computer, then I can dedicate my poor little laptop I'm using now just to uploading videos, get a faster internet connection so I could potentially stream on like Twitch, but I'm still a little iffy about the whole Twitch thing for other reasons. That was dumb.
Job done.
That was real dumb to play that with Trog here. Trog.
For the king!
Honestly, if I was getting $1,000 a day, I have to, at the big chunk of that, I have to put at least 50% of that in my mattress, basically. Just save it, because you've always got to, it's very important to have the mentality to
embrace the void.
Save for a rainy day type stuff. And if I was getting $1,000 or more a day, I need to save all of that because I don't think it would last that long. And I would hope it lasted for a good long amount of time, but eventually people will lose interest. It's just a fact of reality. That worked really well. He's looking at the card, he's like, what? I thought I was gonna get 5 health. He didn't realize. He did not realize the sneakiness of my game. I have a sneaky player. Let's see. So this isn't a good one to play at the moment. Let's see. But whatever. We'll put him out there.
Feel my pain.
Job done.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna win this. Let's see.
My shield for Argon.
Alright, let's put this here. Let's use
Feel
this
my
to
pain.
the face. Let's use this to the face. And then let's use this to the face.
Job's done.
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
To get back to financials, which I'm just right now in my life eternally sorry, I'm a bit quiet, but I'm just eternally concerned about financials at the moment. I'm terrified. If this fails, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Nobody's banging down the door to hire me or for any job. Recently somebody called me to work for 3 weeks, and I'm like, 3 weeks? But it was like 3 weeks, and oh, by the way, it's across the state. It's across the state, and I'm like, so I'd have to get an apartment for 3 weeks to do this dumb job that I would lose after 3 weeks.
Feel my
I
pain.
mean, that's not feasible, that's not realistic. Why are you even wasting people's time with such a offer?
Job's done.
I'll just starve to death 3 weeks later if I took that job. That's not a... All these temporary jobs that I sometimes that are out there, they're so ridiculous. They don't lead to permanent jobs. They take you off the market for a short amount of time, which might be helpful and all, but it's really not. Alright, well, let's do this then. Well, that's one way to win the game. That was really lucky draw. I have to admit that. I like it, but it was really lucky. But yeah, I did a job for 5 months, and all it did was irritate me and waste my time, and did not help one bit. It doesn't look good on your resume when you go from job to job to job to job. You need to stay at a job for at least 6 months to get unemployment, but you also have to work consistently for an entire year to get unemployment. You need to work for at least a year to look good on a resume.
Your soul shall be
Working
mine.
somewhere for 3 weeks doesn't look like you can keep the job. So it doesn't look good. People don't want to see resumes of people that have had 50 jobs in the past 5 years. So if this doesn't work out and something some of the support that I'm getting at the moment dries up, then I'm literally gonna be on the street begging. It's not. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating one bit. I'm either gonna be on the street begging or starving to death. And I'm a pretty fat person, so I'll probably starve to death faster because people will see, oh, he's a fat guy. He's not really homeless or hungry. So I'll probably die of malnutrition before I was ever starved enough to the point where I look like a skinny, starving person. And that's real scary. Now, I'm hoping this is the effort. I'm working. I call this work. I tell people I'm gonna go work. I spend like 8+ hours a day recording every day, not really even taking breaks or days off that often. So I'm working and doing as much work as it is as possible, trying to make this a career. But I need more views. Need more views to get ad revenue up. Fan support would certainly help there. If I could get back to the fantasy, if I was getting like $1,000 a day, well, if I can get that for 100 days, well, 120 days, to be more accurate, I could pay off the mortgage of the house I'm living in right then, and then that would take a huge financial burden off of me, because then I could just have the house paid out and would need to pay taxes every year, and that's it, and insurance every year on it. And then I would only need probably, on top of that, I only need like $500, $600 a month to pay for food and bills. And probably could even put a few pennies into, a few dollars into a savings account. Okay, so either one of those is gonna resummon something. That's not the one I want to summon. Let's try this one.
As you command.
Vaporization commencing.
Unfortunately, the only thing I can pay off that is a bill that you can get rid of is my house. Everything else is already paid off. I don't have any credit card things or anything like that, or loans otherwise. And then my dumb car, both back windows on my car have broken. One broke and then the other broke, and so now I'm doing the cheesy thing of just gonna duct tape them up and be done with them. And so that's a little irritating. Also, I kind of feel like I'm getting to the point where I could
Vaporization
potentially not need a new car. If this stays as my career, if this becomes a job and I don't need to really go anywhere, I could see not really needing a car. I could get rides or take the bus or walk to a grocery store even. That would be kind of a hassle. But me personally, there's enough friends and family members around me that could give me a ride if it was a once a month thing. versus having a job that you have to commute every day at 6 a.m. and you really do need a car. Plus, the main thought that I have there too is that if the Google cars, if the Tesla electric, well, the Google cars that drive you around come about and it becomes more like an Uber type service where you just call for a car and it's a real cheap rate just to have an electric car pick you up and take you where you need to go. If I can keep my car running that I have now long enough, we may eventually get to the point where I could call an Uber for Google cars, and then one, I wouldn't have to drive, which is nice, and two, I wouldn't have to
I am master of magics.
actually outright own one.
To the void.
There was a time on one of my jobs where I had my truck, my first car I ever bought, myself, and I loved it so much, it got hit and basically totaled. No, it got totaled. And because of that, I had no way to get to work at all, and work was in no way going to help me. And they were going to take it as a great opportunity just to fire me for not showing up. And so I was having to get rides from friends and family members every day, and it just wasn't working at all. People are habitually late. If you've never had like your friends pick you up or take you somewhere, it doesn't matter who your friends are. It doesn't, unless they are anal retentive about being 5 minutes early everywhere and waiting for you.
Quickly.
You're gonna end up standing on the curb so much. It is a nightmare. It's not a waste of time, everybody's time. It's a waste of everybody's energy. Well, what do I want to do?
Behold the might of Stormwind!
To the void.
Job's done.
So, yeah, and then the whole situation really stinks. So, at the moment, yes, if I had any kind of job that required me to leave anywhere, I'd love to get a job, like a side job on top of this one that I'm doing, where I could just, I don't know, telecommute type thing, work from home, but you can't really find those jobs at all. Anything you see on any website that says work from home is a scam. You might as well assume 100% of them are scams, because they pretty much are. And the only real way you can get a work from home job is you have a job already that requires you to come in, and then you convince your boss or whoever that it would be a good idea for them to let you work from home, and then usually it's only for a few days. So you'll work from home like 3 days out of the week, but 2 days you still have to come into the office. That's progress, at least.
I bring life
Behold the might of Stormwind!
I guess I should have attacked this dragon, because he's gonna smash my face. Interesting. Didn't smash my face. So if I can find a way to do 2 damage to this guy, we may still be in this race.
Drink with me, friend.
I wish the whole financial thing, I've talked about it way too much. I'm being very open and probably too open. I wish the whole thing would just go away. I wish that particular stress
Why do you call?
would be solved. But my experience has been for pretty much every job I've had, and maybe I've had a run of really bad jobs or what, maybe I'm just not a person that can handle stress very well, but for every job I've had, it has turned you have traded the stress of not having money for a bigger stress of dealing with that job.
Job's done.
So as soon as I get a job that starts giving me some money, and it's never been enough money, then it turns out the job itself adds all kinds of stress, and there's so much more and so much more frustration. It just sucks. I wish stress in my life would go away. If I could only get stress to go away. And this is almost, I've almost succeeded at that. In the sense that if I get this channel going, if I start seeing some major some amount of income that is a livable wage, then I am not that stressed. Really, all I have to do is keep my fans entertained, and I'm trying my best at
The light
that.
shall bring victory.
The biggest stress on this so far has been copyright complaints and disputing those, and I guess I'll deal with them. Don't want to deal with them, but I think I can. That's, if I had enough to hire a lawyer, I'd have the lawyer deal with them.
Job's done.
It kind of sucks running this whole channel by myself. I would like to eventually, if I can afford it, hire like an editor. I'd like to get some best of clips. I'm gonna have to do a new intro for the new games, and because of that, I would love to have some best of clips and people cutting out things they said in cool video of the videos, so I could use them to make a better intro. My intro kind of sucks, and my next intro will probably kind of suck. I'd love it to have an editor who could sit here and cut out certain things if necessary, just to give me the opportunity so I could pause videos and have them edited out, which I really can't even do that. I can sort of do it, but it's still taking up my time. I just want to be the content creator. I don't want to be the content creator and the editor and the advertiser and all that. But that's what I am at the moment.
Sorry about that.
I could definitely use a new computer. I could definitely use better equipment, a chair to sit in, better microphone, a capture card if I was gonna ever get into console playing, so that I could actually capture and do all of that. So maybe I'd get an Xbox One, maybe I'd get a PlayStation 4, so we could cover those games too. But I'm not particularly too keen on any of that
class.
at the moment. It's not it doesn't feel that necessary. Alright, so if I hit this, it should work. So we start here, and then we hit this.
Job's done.
And we're up to 10. Pretty well set. So I want this, and then I want this.
Job's done.
And we should be set. So 2 hits now, and he should be dead. Now recording at 60 frames per second. It seems like all my games are gonna work on that. So that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, he's so desperate. So desperate to get that.
Stand ready.
Job's done.
To get rid of that guy. Like that was my only strategy. But I watched a Total Biscuit kind of cover the Steam box computers a little bit more, and he went through a lot more detail and really went to show how a lot of the Steam boxes are just total rip-offs of computers, and you're better off buying even a non-Steam box version from Alienware versus an Alienware Steam box. Some of them are kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit of a savings, but not really. Building a computer is going to serve you so much better. Each of the Steam machines are kind of vastly different, so some will play the games a lot better than others. It's just this huge mess. This is the exact thing you don't want in a console setup. I don't know if they are just screwing around and eventually they're going to eventually they'll just come out with a actual Steam box from Valve, and it will be the official and the only Steam machine. And until they get around to that, they're just letting other computer manufacturers make Steam machines and call them that, because that's the only thing that's going to work.
I'm ready to learn.
That is the only thing that's going to work if they have one machine. That's the whole point of a Xbox One or a what's the other one? PlayStation. Yeah, the only point of those two systems is they are the one machine that the video game programmers can code their games tightly to, so that they have a very smooth experience. We have seen in games that are for PCs that it's not always the smoothest experience. There's lots of features that I don't understand half the video features half the time. There's lots of little differences that give trouble, and there's crashing. There's crashing, different amounts of RAM, different loading times based on the different speeds of the hard drives. Oh, I think I've lost. I think I've lost again. This might be a great opportunity for me to add an extra episode, because we may not get this done in 30. Also, I need to probably add an extra episode, because we just didn't do 3 the past couple recording sessions. We got done early twice in a row, and it's not really that helpful for me to do things that way. So I can double the minion's health. That's great to know. I can heal. That's great to know. Let's see.
For master.
Well played.
Job done.
But I've already lost. Yeah, Total Biscuit talked about the VR and its whole. The Valve VR has this whole kind of room scanning technology that is gonna try and stop you from walking into walls, but you're still gonna probably need about a 10 by 10 foot square area of empty space for it to stand up and use it. Now, what this really looks nice to me about the standing up with VR, which is not really where I think the game is going to go. I think it's all going to be sitting down with VR. And they showed off a rotating seat actually that had foot pedals called the Roto, R-O-T-O. It has like foot pedals, and you can spin yourself in this chair 360 with your VR on, so you can turn around without craning your neck. And so that's a pretty interesting thought. But just what I think, standing up and looking around. Is someone injured? And walking around. Really, where I think that's going to work well is if you had a game like Myst, where Myst is very much, you click a forward arrow and it takes you like 5 steps to the next place, and then you can look around 360, but to actually move you click a forward arrow. I think for games like that, puzzle and adventure games, that really would work well. But for games that are most games where you walk around and you have the ability to be any number of steps away from any other point, I feel more like you're going to be relying on a controller to walk you around, and not an actual your actual steps. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So And then you might have this whole duality where you're walking around and that's moving your character, or you're walking around and then it's not your character, so you're walking around and you get away from your body in the game, so you can take 5 steps to the left, turn and look to your right, and that's your computer generated body, and you're the cameraman. And so there could be a lot of duality in that.
I am master of magics.
Why do you call?
Or it could be both things do it, moving forward on the control stick and walking forward. But that doesn't make a lot of sense either. Imagine like playing Mortal Kombat or some fighter game like that in virtual reality, and you're dodging and all this stuff. You're getting into that whole realm of Wii Fit stuff, and that's a little strange. I don't know if it's bad, I don't know if it's wrong or anything, but it's not the video games we grew up with. If you're playing virtual reality and you don't have a controller in your hand, instead you're playing Mortal Kombat by throwing your fist and throwing kicks, you're basically exercising, you're potentially hurting somebody if you're throwing punches and kicks too, but leave that to the side for the moment. But when you had like Wii Fit Yoga with the balance board and it's asking you to do all these physical things, or the whole Kinect stuff, there's a great example. Kinect, put the controller down. We're gonna have instead you instead you're going to be just playing with
Is this really necessary?
with your arms and such. Look how unsuccessful the Kinect was. So yes, the VR part, the replacing a screen in your living room part is great, but the moving around part, it's not gonna be that good, I don't think. And it's absolutely, even if everybody else adopts it, it's not gonna grab me. I am not a physical person. I am a broken down old person who's got some health problems, and I'm not gonna be running around and hitting VR games like that. On that point, even though I would like to get like an Oculus Rift when there's a final version of whatever VR at the time looks like it might be the winner, a lot of that, as far as YouTubers, is people playing horror games. And I'll play horror games all day, but it's probably not going to be that fun for people to watch me, because I don't get scared on horror games. And this, I'm not being bravadous or anything, or showing, or joking. It's just, I don't get scared of horror games much at all. Now, there is one that seemed to do it really well. It was called like Condensed Criminal Origins or something, and that one played with the audio and played with the setup a lot, and it did get me in a couple of places.
Is someone injured?
And so there are a couple of games that do get me in a couple places, but I grew up watching horror movies and just laughing at their stupidity, and that I really don't even understand how people get scared of those things. They can't seem, it seems to me like they can't draw the line in their mind that it's not real, and I can certainly do that. So, if I was to play a bunch of Oculus Rift scary games, you might get me on some jump scares. Like one whatever version of Five Nights at Freddy's is out at that point, because they have released Five Nights at Freddy's 3 at this point, and he released 2 like 2 months ago, and he released 1 like 6 months ago. So it seems like he's just gonna keep on selling the same game repackaged if you let him, and I guess people are gonna let him because they're gonna buy it. Yeah, I'm so lost that the jump scares on that might get me, but if I know the jump scares are coming like I usually do, even those won't get me. And then other things are not. A great example of this is like I played like Fear 3, and then there's this scary little girl, like the girl from The Ring, or Ju-on the Grudge as the original title was, and she's supposed to be all scary and causing all these horrible things, and I just look at her and she goes, "Oh, it's a little girl. I just want to protect her. I have like a fatherly instinct to her," and like it's just a little girl. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of a pale black-haired girl. And the storyline, from what I recall in Fear, really kind of pushes me more to wanting to be protective of her, because it seems like she's a victim of something. So yeah, I could do the Oculus things and try to do those games and cover them for you, but I'm not one of these people that's gonna end up screaming. I may have to get somebody else to play the games if that's what you want. I do want to do like the playable trailer for Silent Hills, which I'm sure will be changed to Silent Hill something else later, but I wanted to do that just to talk about it. It's not gonna scare me or anything. I like to play horror games. I'm fine with them, but they just become action games for me. They don't scare me. So we got 1 victory between Priest and Warlock, so we are going to have a great opportunity, I think, to do some extra things. Next time we will play as Hunter, and if we get lucky we'll get Hunter done in less than 5 games, and then we'll play as Priest and Warlock. I'm not as constrained by the number of names. I could probably, now that I'm not looking up titles, I could probably play Druid, Hunter, Mage, Priest, and Warlock and get all of that in the length of the title. But I don't want to. That's a little too messed up. I want to play as Hunter, save some time. So we'll see next time how much we can get done. We may go into overtime and do another extra episode. We're not getting a lot of gold, and that's what we need to be doing for this whole BlackRock thing. I think I'll probably record a little short extra episode just talking about BlackRock and put it out as soon as possible to just warn people that they need to start saving up that gold, and we'll put something out as an announcement like that. But that's the end of this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me through fan funding, click on my name, Rydo. That takes you to my main YouTube page. There on the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Or go to my about page, there's a support button there too. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google Plus, or friend me on Steam or battle.net, all that information is down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.